And look, how things are going, America's gonna look like an episode of The Walking Dead by the end of this year. I'm talking about freeways piled up with cars that don't work, abandoned buildings, abandoned factories, abandoned communities. I don't know about the zombies part, but this place, which many people still want to think of as the richest place in the world, is gonna look worse than a third world country. What do you think happens when the stock market crashes, when the banking system collapses, when the supply chain to the grocery store get cut off and people don't have access to food and clean water and the supplies they need? You know what I mean? Things are going to get more expensive, and existing as a human being is going to be so hard in this country that people are more than likely going to have no choice but to break into chaos. What do? We already tried to get a loan, that wasn't enough. We used to pay their loans, that wasn't enough. Hell, some borrowed money from people and shit, that wasn't enough. We worked extra overtime, it's not enough. You get 2 jobs, it's not enough. You save money, it's not enough. You even try not to eat as much, and it's still not enough. You know what I mean? So it's just gonna come to a point where it's like, fuck, bro, I don't know what you want me to do, but I'm just hungry and I just need a place to live. And it's gonna come to that, I think, this year. And unless there's some serious changes, by the end of the year, America could look like The Walking Dead. Now, when I'm talking about serious changes, I'm talking about this idea that money has more value than human beings. You know what I mean? That idea just has to go away. And if it doesn't, then this shit will look like The Walking Dead. You know what I mean? It's going to come to a point to where the people have to decide, you know what? There are things that are more important than money. And we have to have some type of meeting and some type of whatever. I don't give a fuck if it's online. Everybody come meet at the park. Everybody in each city needs to have a little meeting and sit down and say, okay, look, if we don't find a way to cooperate and work with each other, well, what are you good at? Okay, you're in charge of that. What are you good at? You're in charge of that. Okay, what are you good at? You're in charge of that. And everybody do their role and everybody play their part. And then everybody in that community can benefit. You know what I mean? It's going to have to come to that. It's going to have to come to people utilizing their backyard and front yard space for farms. It's going to come to a point to where people who living in apartment complexes are going to have to take out some of that parking lot space to make a farm so that people in the community have access to at least basic fruits and vegetables. You know what I mean? It's going to come to window gardening be a mandatory thing. There's going to have to be changes that involve a lot more humanity. And I don't know if a lot of people even know what that means, because a lot of us have grown up and exist in this survival mode in this capitalistic society to where it's like, hey, I'm gonna get rich or die trying, I'm gonna get mine, fuck you, you know what I mean? But that type of mentality is the very mentality that's gonna make this place look like The Walking Dead by the end of the year, you know what I mean? And there has to come a point to where we do value human life, we do work together, and we do cooperate to see another day. And if we're sitting around waiting for these elected officials, for your president, or waiting for some expert, or waiting for whatever to come hand you the answer, it's not going to happen. We're all going to starve before they give us the answer. It's just going to come to a point to where, look, if we can't, all of us are standing outside of Kroger's, all of us are standing outside in the parking lot of Walmart, none of us can buy none of this shit. So what can we do? You know what I mean? And I think once we start to actually talk and interact with each other and figure out what each other is good at, we realize we have a network within ourselves. We don't need to go anywhere else. We don't need to get things from anywhere else. We have everything we need right here. We have all the skills and expertise that we need here, but we have to find those people, and then we have to find a way to put those people in the right places. You know what I mean? The system that has been in place is falling apart and broken. No one's gonna come up and say, hey, no one's gonna make the broken system better. We have to make our own system and replace that system with a broken system. Sometimes you just got to do it, man. I don't know. If not, we're just going to be left out here to dry. Everybody being independent, focused on individualism. Everybody's focusing on their own thing. That's cool and all, until nobody can afford to eat, nobody can afford to live, and all of us are just starving. Because for what's the point? All of us going through all that just because we got too much pride. You know what I mean? Because we wanted to be selfish. And that's just a waste. Because when you really think about it, the ones who pay the most is the kids. The one who suffer most is going to be the children. And all because of what? Because some adults couldn't fucking get along, couldn't utilize their own consciousness in a civilized fashion to establish a better tomorrow. That's crazy. So, I don't know, man. There's got to be a better way than this shit. And it's going to involve us coming together. It's going to be kind of, like I said, in Walking Dead, everybody using their skills and attributes, using those qualities in a group, working together so everybody can benefit. It's gonna come to that. And if it don't come to that, shit gonna really be like The Walking Dead. And I don't think we want to see that.